Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Red Carpet.
Sorry, I was a little bit behind.
All right, internet problems. Don't worry, it's fine.
Not me, but I was just behind, just mentally.
Just mentally, as usual.
Yeah.
Big up to everyone, man. Big up to Owen. Big up to KG. Big up to Sai. Big up to Alice. Adam is not with us today. He couldn't make it. But he sends his regards. He sends his regards. But before we do anything, you guys have probably seen it in the comments watching this morning. But we have to do it in-house on the red carpet. It's Owen's birthday today. So big up to Owen. Big up to Owen once again. It's still the same 24 hours, mate. Last time I checked, it's still your birthday, so you're not getting away with it. Big up to you. I hope you had a solid day as well, man. Get it in the chat, man. Smash a like on the video. Get your well wishes. You know what I mean?
I did get a phone call from KG. He sung happy birthday to me for... It went on quite a while, actually. His whole thing. Yeah, that's nice.
Nice little rendition of happy birthday there from KG.
Yeah.
You can't go. Congrats on your birthday, Owen. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. Still alive.
That sounds like a Marcel thing. Congratulations, Owen.
Congratulations on your date of birth. Congratulations.
Even though he doesn't believe in time, so is it even your birthday? Is it even your birthday? You know what I'm saying? But we got a big show, man. One thing I really wanted to talk about. We can't hide from it. I see Saeed in all the comments. He's saying people are listening, people are cutting on.
Active. He was active on
Saturday. All of a sudden, Saeed active, commenting under everything. Soon as I talk about Bruno, Saeed's there. Soon as I said it in my match reaction, Saeed's there. So I thought, okay, well, we have to come and talk because Saeed has been making a lot of points regarding this Bruno situation in general. So as people like Bradley on the channel, he's been talking about Bruno a lot. KG, remember when we was at the game in Liverpool?
Oh my
God. So there's a lot of people who have been like on this. I know, Alice, you're a big supporter of Bruno. Owen, I know you have been over the years. KG, I definitely know you are. Marcellus, I've been a big Bruno supporter as well. But right now he's going through
rubbish, though. You can call him out.
Absolutely. So let's just kick this off. The Bruno Fernandes debate. Saeed, let's start with you. It feels like it might be a silly question. Right on point there, Alice. Is this what we're seeing with Bruno Fernandes? Is this bad form that he can come through because the team is getting better? Or is he the one actually holding us back?
I think for me, it's just who he is, isn't it? This is what Bruno Fernandes has always been, I think, for me. He's just covered it up with goals and assists. And people say, but, you know, it's not only just goals and assists, but I believe, for me, I like to see good footballers in it. And for me, Eriksen is a good footballer. Maybe he might not have the legs. He might not, you know, be the Eriksen of old, but he's a good footballer. You see it in this team here now, when we keep in possession, Eriksen is one of our best players. It's mad. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of our better players. I just look at Bruno Fernandes and listen, the comments, they cooked me, you know what I mean, a couple of weeks ago. They were like, how dare you say that? But it's not how dare you say that anymore, man. Like, Bruno, for me, he's now getting exposed. Like, generally, guys. Before, he wasn't really getting exposed because the team technically wasn't at that level. Now, I can't lie to you. We've got some good technical players. Amad Diallo, Christian Eriksen, Obi Mainu, Lisandro, De Ligt, Onana, Mazarawi, Zirkzee. Like, generally, like, our team now, when you look at it, the technical level and flooring now is at a high. So he now is getting exposed because he's in a system where now we've seen in a passage of play in a space of a minute give the ball away 3 times. And people started to blame Mazarawi. People started to blame that player. But ultimately, the person that was trying to force the ball, and why I said he was a detriment, is because we're trying to keep the ball. We're trying to keep possession. And he's there just playing hoofball, or he's trying to force it. The guy in the box here decided to do the back heel. Who does that? Seriously. You know who does that? Bruno Fernandes does that. I just think for me, it's like, it's silly. And the manager needs to drop him. He needs to drop him now. You could easily play Højlund up front and play Zirkzee in that position if you want to. You could play Eriksen in that position. You could even play Obi Mainu in that position. Like, generally, guys, all you have to do is keep the ball. System dried. The goals have now dried up to the level that people used to see him as. They've dried up. Let's be honest. I think he got 7 assists last season. I don't know if I'm correct there, Owen. You might have to go and check. But if you look at his numbers are so you can't even say like, before you'd be like, he's our savior. He's this, he's that. Now his numbers have dried up. What is Bruno Fernandes going to offer us? And what right now he's doing is actually becoming a detriment, because it's like when we're trying to do things, he's stopping the flow of the game. We actually like now conceded attacks because of Bruno Fernandes. And I just think for me, it's not personal with Bruno Fernandes. I just don't think we need him anymore. We just don't need him anymore. We don't need
hero. You feel like the team's moved on? You think the team's moved on now? And
the team has to move on. The team has to move on. It really, really has to move on from Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. Not just only him. I made them 2 names from there because I just feel like for me, it's like, yeah, people are right now because there's a lack of goals and whatnot. But if you want to build a team, you have to build a foundation of the team first. Can we keep the ball? You've seen that. We're keeping the ball a little bit better. Is there control? Yes. Like that transition football has to stop now. You have to have a team style. And ultimately, with Bruno Fernandes now, why he's getting exposed? Because we don't really need him anymore. Zirkzee can do the things that Bruno thinks he can do. Drop in his shoulders, keep it going, little give and goals, hold up play. That's what Bruno Fernandes, what Zirkzee can do. And I just think for me, you know what? No, he can't do that.
Zirkzee can do the thing Bruno thinks he could. So yeah, I get it because they're chalk and cheese in terms of the way that they play.
Season all comes.
Look at Zirkzee in the Crystal Palace game. He set up 3 potential goals in that game, literally on a plate. So when we're saying Bruno Fernandes can do that, Zirkzee's shown he can do that on a plate. Put it on a plate for Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes decided to do a Trevella. What are you doing Trevella for, man? Put the ball and lace it. I genuinely think Eriksen in that position would have scored that, Eriksen's ball striking ability is better than Bruno's.
Probably taking him his left foot as well.
Eriksen actually can place the ball right in the... You see, like it's Barnsley. People say it's Barnsley. But look at the way he just puts that into the net. It's clean. There's actually a ball. Bruno, yeah, he might do the odd one, curler and bender. And you've seen that, I think it was against Man City where it was offside. You can do the odd that here and there. But I'm telling you now, guys, like with Zirkzee, he can offer you them things.
But weren't you one? But with this Eriksen thing, though, or basically that he's better than Bruno now, or should be playing there, and I get it because in
I'm just not saying he's better than Bruno, but for what we're doing now, I'm saying we don't need Bruno Fernandes. You can put Eriksen in the 10 if you want to, and actually you're keeping the ball better. Even Mainu now. Look at Mainu recently when Eriksen's been in the team. Like he's keeping the ball better as well. He feels a bit more comfortable. So I just think for me, Bruno is very, very limited in what he can do. Like when the ball has to be forced in behind in this transition football, maybe you might get the best of him. But right now, we're trying to keep the ball. There's not overlapping runs from Mazraoui and Dalot anymore. They're tucked in now and they're inverted. So them dynamics have changed now. But like I said, nothing's personal. I just think for me, it's crazy how everyone's now talking about this now. Where have you been, man? Where have you been? Like this is always.
I feel like everyone's talking about it because he's in bad form. I don't think he.
Yeah, but the thing is,
you're saying he's always been like
because the goal assist dry. Let's be honest. Let me ask you a question though. This is a damning thing here. If the goal assists weren't there, if the goal assists were there, would we be having this conversation right now? Yes or no?
If the goals and assists were there, no, we wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. But for me,
would he be doing his job though?
No, but I get he's doing his job, yeah. But the thing is, for me, is like the goal and assist sometimes cause the performances of players, and he's one of the prime examples of that. It's like he'll get an assist here, and everyone's like, "What?" But he got the assist, guys. Against Southampton, he weren't like that. He would have got assist against Southampton. Everyone would have been like, "Nah, but he played well. He played amazing." And I just think for me, it's like I look at the overall game. Like Ahmad, people saying Ahmad had a poor performance against Crystal Palace. If you actually look at the game back. Like genuinely, honestly, there's a discourse online saying that Ahmad weren't all that and he didn't really have a great game. And I'm like, what are you watching? He literally did everything that he needed to do, but obviously it didn't work because the team was not. After that goal, when what do you call it? When Zirkzee came off, he brought on the wrong players off again. So I don't know, but I just think for me, Bruno Fernandes this is what he's been, and goals, cover, and and carry him really. Goals and assists. They kind of make everything like, you know what, everything's cool. That's the way I kind of look at it anyway. So
KG, so Saeed saying we don't need him anymore. Team's got better, and if we don't need him, Zirkzee can do everything Bruno's doing, and more. I assume you're saying that, Saeed, like he's fine. You got Zirkzee, Eriksen can do it. They keep the ball better than him. We don't need him anymore.
It's crazy. I think this is just the Man United cycle that we go on over and over again. We've done it like we do it all the time, and I think Bruno's the new person that we're going to discuss, or it's going to be maybe the new scapegoat, because it's hard to really understand, because at some points we go, well, this team's been bad for 3 years. We blame the manager style of play and the manager not getting the best out of the Sanchos and all these other players that have come and gone and stuff. And then, but on Bruno, it's definitely not going to be the manager, right? It's definitely just Bruno just messes it up, and everything we want to do doesn't work because Bruno's there. Now what we've done is we've got a new player in, and I like the fact that Zirkzee's here, and I think what you need to do is be able to drop a player when he's not in form. Bruno right now is not in form. It doesn't mean we don't need him. He's just not playing the way we need Bruno to play. And it's that thing about when these players sign these bumper contracts and there is a dip in form. We've seen it over and over again with players. We saw it, probably Liverpool can say they saw it with Salah at a time, with the, you know, what he didn't deliver and he didn't offer. I know with and maybe this is a force equivalent, but then I know in times you say, well, it's just GA. Yeah, but then I'm telling you, there's moments in the game where I know Haaland is not involved in the game, but those goals, they mean something. It's a part of it. You can't say it doesn't play any big part of the game. We need goals and assists for us to get through a game. We need that part. And there's times where Bruno will turn up with the moment. There's times where Bruno will find that important pass. Bruno is tracking back. Bruno is running. Zirkzee's just arrived. And what we'll do is we're probably gonna hype up. I understand he's a striker, but I'm saying that there's the final third passes that Bruno's finding, the passes in behind. And guess what? It's one of those players that, again, like anyone that comes here, we say we're big enough, we don't need him. We'll let him go. He'll be fine. He's another one of those ones that are going to go into, and then guess what's going to happen? There's going to be comps and all these other stuff of all the Man United fans. Because if they tell me they miss Wan-Bissaka and they miss all these media players.
I don't think people miss Wan-Bissaka.
I'm telling you, no, I'm saying that. I'm saying, you know, the media ones, guess what's going to happen when we let go of a player like that? Because we do all the time. There's people that are saying we should never got rid of Elanga. But when Elanga was here, they said he's not fit to wear the Man United shirt. So
they're the same people that were saying that Ahmad was playing bad at the weekend as well. These people.
We just do this thing, though. All I'm saying is we do this thing with all these players where it's kind of like maybe he's hyped up a bit. But I don't understand right now, in the moment, he's not playing the best football. But to say that we don't need him and we'd be better off without him, it's just not true. Man United do need Bruno. We do. Like, to act as if we don't, and seeing how much he has done for the club so far, to say that we not needed him, and then now you're going to put on a player that's just arrived, a little bit young. Is he ready? He's not even. You talk about the proof in the pudding, or would you say the sample size being big enough? We've just met this player. We don't know. We don't even know if this is a purple patch or this is just, we do not know. But now we're going to risk it all and say, yeah, we don't need this player, move on. It just feels a bit, it's premature. It's, I just think it's a bit silly, but it's cool. Like, he's in bad form and it fits the narrative right now. But then those things change. As the season goes on, we're going to need Bruno. This season, we are going to need Bruno, and he's going to turn up for us.
Alice, a lot going on here. A lot of big Bruno, talk here. We're gonna have our say. Everyone's having their say in the chat. Everyone's on it. What say you on this?
Yeah, I'm mostly with KG here. I will say one thing. Bruno was crap at the weekend. There's no doubt about that. If Bruno's crap, I'll say he's had a bad game. If he's had a good game, I'll say he had a good game. Totally. Do I think he's had the best start to the season? No. I don't think he's been particularly good this season. I think he has been wasteful at times, and I personally would have kept Zirkzee on the pitch. I think that was the worst decision Ten Hag made, taking Zirkzee off, especially playing Rashford in the middle. Rashford is better out wide. He should have taken either Garnacho or Ahmad off. And I think, yeah, you either move Bruno deeper and you take Eriksen or Ameno off, or you take Bruno off. I don't think Zirkzee should have come off. And I think the Bruno has to play every game and Bruno can't come off the pitch thing is a bit silly. I know we took him off versus Brighton. It just got really bad, but we took him off on McTominay. What were we expecting? But I think that Bruno is definitely underappreciated. We see him go to Portugal and be unbelievable for Portugal over the last 2 years in a, more of a possession-based side and done some good stuff for Portugal. What Bruno Fernandes gets criticised for, everyone was saying, oh, if only Man City had Kevin De Bruyne yesterday versus Arsenal to unlock that defence. I think, people say that you can't play good football with Bruno and he's got a certain style. I think Bruno is one of those players that he's so good that he can be coached into doing what you want. I think he would play well for Manchester City. I don't think he's playing well enough for Manchester United at the moment, and you can question dropping him. But I think Eriksen, he's been good. I think he's better in the 10 role, but we know he doesn't have the legs for the big game, the pressing that Ten Hag wants. If you could give Mason Mount's legs to Eriksen, I'm more than happy to give Eriksen a go in the 10. But, Zirkzee, I think he's a beautiful footballer. But again, can he play in the 10? I would like to see Zirkzee and Højlund play together. And I think the interesting thing is a lot of the people that are, giving Bruno stick saying, oh, goals and assists, that's why all he brings is goals and assists, are the same people I've seen hyping up Sancho getting an assist for Chelsea at the weekend when Sancho was crap. Sancho didn't have a good game for Chelsea the weekend. Nicholas Jackson did really well. He got an assist. And then talking about Sancho's assist, but he weren't good. An assist master, bad performance for Sancho. But when it's Bruno, it's the problem. And look, you need output. And I think we have this thing, and KG touched upon it as a fan base. Bruno can't be undroppable. And Bruno needs to be subbed. And Bruno, when he's out of form, that's fine. But I think, we have this thing of, oh, we drop that player, it solves the problem. Maguire was the issue. We play half a games without Maguire. Sometimes our defence is crap. Fred was the issue. The midfield still has issues. David De Gea was the issue. We can't build out from the back because of David De Gea. Yeah, I think, long-term David De Gea did need to go, but we weren't miraculously fixed last year with Onana. There's always an issue. Ronaldo was an issue. We're not, he's holding up the team because, all he does is score goals, doesn't do anything else. There's always an issue. There's always a problem. And I think at the end of the day, we need to stop going off this, okay, Bruno's been crap the last few games. He's the problem. He needs to go. If Bruno has a season like Rashford did last year, you may say, you know what, maybe you need to look at potentially moving him on because that wasn't good enough, or not essentially moving him on, but looking at replacement. But I guarantee that by the end of the season, Bruno will be a key player for us. I think you can play good football with Bruno in the team. I think you could even play him deeper next to Meno and try Zirkzee in the 10 if you wanted a bit of a risk. But I think he's such a talented player. We see it for Portugal. We've seen it many times before that, yes, he seems to be at his best when we're crap and he comes out with something out of the bag. But I think there was a period under Ten Hag in his first season where Bruno actually, I think, sort of adapted a little bit. It wasn't as wasteful on the ball, wasn't giving it his way as much, and was playing some good bits. So I personally think that Bruno isn't an issue. I think we're just looking for another scapegoat. But I do think he should have been subbed off, and I do think he can't be undroppable.
Going to get through the super chats here. Loads of big opinion. Itat Panda says, you ungrateful lot. A guy carried us for 4 years, now struggling in 4 games. And instead of exploring why, you criticize him. Meanwhile, you praise a bastard who left us for a rival. So you must be talking about Sancho.
Where's he carried us? Where's he carried us to? Can you let him know as well where's he carried us to?
Itam says...
Itam, yeah, just let me know where he's carried us to.
Yeah, I think, well, that's in terms of when he came in, obviously no one player, whether it's Pogba, whether it's Zlatan, whether it's Lukaku, whether it's Martial, whether it's Herrera, whether it's whatever post-Fergie, no one's carried us anywhere. We haven't done anything significant.
So are we saying we blame Bruno for finishing eighth last season? Is that the truth?
No, but why are we doing that? Why are we doing this? Why are we going to extremes on stuff like that?
Because I'm seeing in the chat. I know what people say.
But again, KG, this is this is the one person of the 2 people.
It's a normal question. I've seen many people say that. So when you say where's he carried us to?
Well, the answer is no. The answer is no. No, I don't think many people are saying like Bruno.
What do people mean by? What does he mean by? Hold on, before you shut me down, I'm just saying. What do you mean, Saeed? What do you mean by where's he carried us?
Well, but he's saying here he's carried us. Like I'm asking, what do you mean carried to where? Like title, what's the situation? Like carried what? What's going on?
But where's Bruno taking us then? Where do you get from this?
No, I'm just asking a question. Like, you know, he's put a super chat there. He's carried us. I just wanted to ask, you know, expand on it. Where's he carried us to? That's all I wanted to know.
Okay.
No, this is a genuine question.
The question is, no, because when someone asked that question with the insinuating of what do you say? If he said he's carried us to high heights, what are you saying to that?
No, but the thing is, so for me, what I don't get from that question is that I feel like he's trying to exaggerate the point of, you know, Man United have become this unbelievable team from Bruno Fernandes. Like, bro, we've not done anything for the past couple of years. I'm not saying that's down to Bruno Fernandes, but he's exaggerated that he single-handedly took United somewhere, and I'm asking him where. That's all I've asked him. What heights?
That's a fair question.
That's all it is.
That's a fair question. Bruno, there isn't one. That's what I'm saying. There isn't one single player. We're not back yet. So all these signings we've made, from Sancho to Ronaldo to all of it, no one's brought us anywhere.
It's not. I feel like when we like we focus. We talk about last season, and we talk about Bruno's time at the club, and we can't act as if his output hasn't been important for where we need. Even if you can say, like, last season was a blip, but last season we did win the FA Cup, and Bruno was a part of it. You're not going to take him out of it because that's the success. He was a part of that success.
But it works both ways, doesn't it, KG? Yeah, it works both ways in that regard. So you could say, yes, he was influential in the FA Cup final. He got the assist for Kobe Mainoo, but he was also the captain of the Manchester United side that finished 8th. So there's going to be a positive and a negative connotation with that. So I don't understand why we have to go to extreme either way of he's carried us.
Oh, I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying.
You mentioned in the chat about people who said carried us to 8.
Bruno's time here, Bruno has been important and pivotal, even in his first season. Bruno's been an important pivotal player for this club. This player has always been available, always showed up, and tried to actually set a really high standard and been our best signing post Fergie. So we're acting.
Then to Said's point, is that carrying the entire club?
No, but then I wouldn't. But then
the answer is no.
But then I wouldn't put, again, when people say, but then you finish 8th with Bruno, it's like, well, wait a minute. Because even when we're talking about, when we discuss this manager, we always say all these players have been mistreated because of the manager style of play, this, that, and the other. But then that allowance doesn't fall for Bruno. He's not in the group of players that are like, if Bruno was playing under a different manager, this is what you'll get from him. That's not allowances to give in there. All the other players that everyone's sad that they need to be freed, it's basically this manager's killing them. But for Bruno, no, it's just fine. Which one is it? Because it's either we finish 8th or we finish bad because we got a shit manager, no one likes him. These are the same people that cuss Bruno, though. So I
never blamed Bruno for finishing 8th. I never blamed Bruno for finishing 8th.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm talking. I saw it in the comment section.
What did the chat say that? Did the chat say that?
Comment section. This comment section, KG. This comment section again.
Wait, are you telling me today's the first day I've read the 3 Cs, guys? Come on.
No. But one, and I'm bad for this, but one voice is not the sentiment for everyone, one voice, is it?
Though, but it's something. It's been
or 2 or 3.
You're acting as if this is the first time I've seen this, and I'm making it up. I'm not making it up.
I'm not saying you're making it up. I'm saying it doesn't represent everyone, does it? You know what I mean? It doesn't. The thing is with Bruno, I do think some of the things that Said is saying are accurate, and I won't go as far as to say like we don't need Bruno Fernandes or anything like that. I mentioned it this morning on the Morning View. I agree with the sentiment. Actually, when you look at player for player in the Man United side at the moment, I think the level of technical ability has risen. Yeah, and I think that I think the fact that has risen has kind of exposed not Bruno Fernandes' lack of technical skill, but his style of play. You know, what we saw at the weekend was nice, nimble passing, quite close together. Go to Bruno, try force it, and he didn't need to. He didn't need to overcomplicate it. So I think if you're looking at how Ten Hag would want to play, his style of play, I think there could be an argument to say there, well, is there a bit of a style clash in that? You know, is Bruno Fernandes that kind of player? And with his age, is he the kind of player that can adapt to that style of sort of not overcomplicating it, not going for the extravagant, not going for the outside of the foot? And maybe to Said's point, if that's the direction that you're going to go in, are you necessarily the right fit in that team? And also, now we've also got alternatives, which maybe we didn't have previously. Previously, we would talk about, well, if it's not going to be Bruno in the 10 or playing a false 9, then who is it going to be? Well, now you could go, it could be Christian Eriksen. It could be Mason Mount. It could be Joshua Zirkzee dropping deeper. Like there are legitimate options that maybe are a better fit. Now, I would also say with Bruno, it did get extra highlighted because we didn't win. It did get extra highlighted because he was, I think, from a United point of view, the worst player on the pitch at the weekend. And also, it wasn't a one-off because he's been like this for how many games we played this season? 5 or 6? He's been like it for pretty much every game so far. So it is a problem. So I would then look at Erik ten Hag and say, right, you took him off against Brighton. And at the time, I was surprised he took him off against Brighton because, again, we're so used to, even if he's playing terrible, he's going to score a goal late on or he's going to bail us out of the shit. And now I'm looking at it going, actually, Eric, you do have options to change it there, and you didn't. So if you've got a player that's not playing well, eventually, if he continues to not play well, eventually that becomes on you. We know the player isn't going to play very well, so you've got to change him. Now, again, I wouldn't go as far as we don't need him. I'm not going to do the extreme thing like KG are saying, like saying he's never contributed anything or he's responsible for us finishing 8th, because of course he's not. He has contributed a lot of goals and a lot of assists. He has captained Manchester United to 2 trophies in the last 2 years and finals. So he does deserve credit for that, no doubt about that. But it's going to be really interesting to see what happens now with, can he raise his level of performance? Is that even possible for him to fit into that new system of play? And if it's not, where does Erik ten Hag find the line to say, right, actually, now mid-game, or maybe like you do with Marcus Rashford, right, I'm going to take him out the side. I'm going to take him out the side because it's not right for the team that he can't really knit the way that I want it to knit. And that's going to be really interesting. But I don't think there needs to be the extremes of, you know, he's never going to fit at Man United or he's never contributed anything. I think that's where we kind of lose ourselves as fans because we go so polar opposite that there's no room for middle ground and there's no room for like sort of legitimate conversation. And if we get into that, then I don't think we even resolve the issue.
Even when I'm talking about this thing, I'm not actually saying that Bruno was, I'm not even in the camp of Bruno's, I'm not saying Bruno's never done nothing for us. I'm literally, similar to Alice, I said, look, I didn't watch the full 90, so I can't even. I listened to everyone else's opinion on this guy and I said he played shit. Played shit. Drop him. There's players to bring in. I'm comfortable with that. And now we have options. The manager can do that. But then it's like, and I feel that's what's missing. I agree. If the player's not playing good enough, take him out. But it doesn't mean that there's no more he can do for the club. Because even when Sai was saying, well, we'll do better just without him, I was like, well, no, you know that the form will change, and even the players that we're rating now, their form will change. Their form is, they're not going to be on point all season. This is where using the squad makes sense. And before it was that thing of the manager has his favorites and he's not going to drop certain players. And before last season, it was all about Rashi being the manager's favorite. We've seen this season, he's willing to change that as well. None of us were expecting Eriksen on the weekend. He played. So he's willing to chop and change it and willing to do things that might surprise us. We probably would have all said Ogata is going to get.
There's a whole lot of super chats here. I'm going to read them and then we're going to carry on. And we're going to talk about not just Bruno. We're going to talk about some of the positives in terms of our style of play, the team moving on, technical aspect of the team has gone up. And actually, we did a lot right against Palace. And I wanted to explore that going forward about what needs to happen. So it's not just all going to be about just Bruno. I promise you lot that. But it is a polarizing topic because, you know, 1, it's Bruno, and 2, yeah, he's in a bad spot right now because he's not playing good. But it does spark this type of reaction. So we have to talk about it. Clearly, this level of like disagreement from loads of sides and people in the middle shows you that it's a polarizing topic and why we have to talk about it. Dwayne says, big up, Big Owen, happy birthday. I have a question for you guys. If Bruno is dropped, we are looking at Zirkzee, Mainu, Eriksen, and Mount at the 10. If we're still not scoring, what do we do? Don't answer that right now. English Talent says, why are people angry? 1 point at Palace is a fantastic result. We are Man United who finished 7, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 8th in 11th season. Erik ten Hag is bigger than the club. Back him. Dwayne says, Bruno has to adapt to 8. When Zirkzee plays, who is creative striker, basically a 10, Bruno's best position. Then we go back to just Højlund as a striker. We needed a bagsman this summer. We will need one in Jan. Connor says, Bruno was awful on Saturday, but we don't need to bin him off over a couple of games. Also, KG versus the world tonight, KG. Or are you scamming people again? Well, because you didn't do it. Oh, no. Need to do it. Big up Daniel for the contribution. Big up Ryan for the contribution. Big up for you. English Talent says, Erik ten Hag put Carlito versus Barnsley. Can't even get a goal. And Larry says, this is not bad form. We have watched this Bruno many times. Match View, KG, Owen, Flex have said so many times, oh, Bruno is playing bad today. He will probably get a goal and assist. Too many times I've heard y'all say that. And JC Flores said, I don't get why sports fans think that players can play perfect every game. We are all human and have our ups and downs. King HD says, not going to lie, we always do this as supporters. We base this on a few games. He's human. This will pass, and we will be praising Bruno again. Saeed shakes his head. Alice nods her head. Just shows you where we're at with this thing. Craig says, happy birthday, Owen. You grow as old as you like. Rest in peace to my friend James, who passed away today. Sorry to hear that, bro. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, thoughts with you and your other friends and his family and stuff, man. Sorry to hear that, Craig. It's always tough losing somebody, especially a friend. So yeah, sorry to hear that, my bro. Thoughts with you. Red Baron says it's a lovely day today. Remember, we are all Reds. We are all Reds. Absolutely. Max says, nah, I'm convinced Alice is a chef because she is cooking. This was probably about 10 minutes ago when she was. Santiago says, congratulations to UV and Alice on being finalists in the Football Content Awards. Community, let's all give flowers in the chat and hit the like on the video. Also, yeah, big up to Alice. Big up to you guys at UV. And also, Minna is in a category as well. I can't remember what category she's in.
I think it's new creator or something like that, maybe.
Is it new creator? Yeah.
Man.
That's it. Get the votes in. Get over to the FCA. Yeah, the link will be in. Is there a link on your socials? Okay, Alice, no problem. Is
my camera glitched out there.
Is the link in your socials on X and on your channel, etc., etc.?
I just added it to the description of my live stream I did earlier, but I'll share it out on Twitter tonight probably. Yeah,
share it out. Check out Alice's socials to vote for her, and of course Minna as well. I'm sure she will have it on her socials / on her channel. And all of the channel links are in the description to get there as well, to follow everybody and make sure you're supporting and voting for them. So do the work, guys. Put in the love. 2K says United buy players and let their careers die. Larry says, I hate this Bruno carried us conversations. We have finished in our worst Premier League positions, not entirely Bruno's fault. Where did he carry us to? What are we currently? What favourable situation has he carried us to? We've just been through that. We're not going to go through that again. Show says, people get so triggered when you even slightly question Bruno. It's 2024. The last time Bruno maintained a period of good form, it was 2022. And Daniel says, Bruno looks like a kid who's lost in the jungle. And Mason says, Bruno was clearly the best man at a lot of people's weddings. Players don't decline, apparently, even though goals and assists dried. And he does not pass the eye test. Big Game Player says, best signing post Fergie. Simple. I agree with KG. And the Manjakusha says, wait, it's Owen's birthday today. Happy birthday. Mine was on Saturday. There you go. I'm not good at star signs, so I don't know where we're at now. September. What's that mean?
Mine changes depending on where it is. 23rd's like you're either a Virgo or something else. Depends on how it's cut up or whatever.
Okay. Okay. Right. There you go. Item Panda says Rodri Gundogan dictates. Kevin De Bruyne forces it. LOL. And Knowledge says people can comment, whatever they like. If you get triggered, that's on you. People dislike Bruno for years. This isn't because of a few bad games. This is his norm outside goals of assists. That's Saeed's point. And Danny says, I've been on this channel calling Bruno out since day one. When Ronaldo came, everyone said Bruno had been affected when he got the captain's armband. Everyone said his form dipped. He hasn't played well in 3 years. People stop lying, saying this is a blip. And Saptashi says, come on, Saeed. Oli would have been sacked in his first season if it wasn't for Bruno. He carried us to third and second under Oli. And GJE says, if Bruno overcomplicates his game, isn't it down to the manager to tell him not to play hoofball? Surely Eric Ten Hag will instruct him to play how he wants. Larry says, I hear this. Oh, Bruno plays so well for Portugal and they are a possession team. Please, Flex, get a Portuguese on the show. You'd hear what their thoughts are about Bruno. You'd be shocked. Okay, interesting one there. We'll get Paolo.
Loves Bruno.
Exactly.
He loves Bruno.
Yeah, he does love Bruno, to be fair. But like you say, one doesn't represent all. But maybe get bigger sample size of Portuguese fans. Players carry a team regardless of where said team finishes. Bale carried Spurs. No one denies that. But did they win a trophy? The point is, whatever they lack, they've made a massive contribution. That's an interesting point. Thank you for the for the contribution. Wesley and Remy says KG not putting Jackson in his Premier League, fantasy Premier League. And yeah, bad one. Kristen says that for me personally, we don't need to have a 10 and play 2 8s and a 6. Maxwell says, Owen, did you say Bruno captain United to 8th? KG was right. People are having a go about that. Why all the criticism? Just support the club.
Also said he captained him to 2 trophies as well. That was my point, is that you have to look at negative achievements and positive achievements, do you not? You can't just highlight one.
Knowledge says, KG talking up Bruno's goals and assists is like Spurs fan hyping up Kane's goals. What did it do for the actual club? Are you going to say Kane carried Spurs? To what? No, nah, but he did though.
He
made them relevant. He did. This is where it gets crazy, though.
Spurs.
That's where he's getting golden boots, competing with the very best in the league on a personal. Yes, of course, the argument is Spurs didn't win anything, but that doesn't mean that Harry Kane weren't sick his whole time he was there. You can't say it. And one of the best strikers in the world while he was there.
It's like Cole Palmer
not say that.
Last year. You can say Cole Palmer carried Chelsea last year, but what did Chelsea do? Nothing.
You can't. There can be outstanding players in teams that don't achieve the premise of football, which is to win trophies. There can be, like
particularly Spurs, who don't win anything.
Mate, Alan Shearer won a Premier League at Blackburn, right? Cool, in '95. Was it '94? Sorry, '94, '95. Then after that, all right, he was at Newcastle forevermore, banging in goals every season. He's the Premier League's top ever goal scorer. Was he dead? Yeah. What did he carry Newcastle to? But he wasn't dead. He's a top bad boy, done-down striker.
They were in the Champions League at the time. Then they didn't do that for another how many years? You know,
there has to be a little bit of context, because you can still say that one of the best ever strikers in the Premier League is Alan Shearer. Yeah, but what did he carry Newcastle to? Yeah, but man's a top bad boy striker. You can't say he wasn't a bad boy striker. Like, you can't. So, but you can't use that to say, he brought the team to the promised land. Yeah, because Newcastle was shit then and didn't win anything. I get that. But he's still a sick player. So that's not always... Yeah, exactly. Jamaican says, if Ronaldo, De Gea, Pogba couldn't catch smoke, then who is Bruno? Our standards are in the mud. And Max says, happy birthday, Owen. Don't normalize getting older. K-Flow has gifted 5 UV memberships as well. Big up to UK Flow and big up to the beneficiaries of that. Welcome to the club. Maxwell says, happy birthday, Owen. Ryan says, Bruno game is being affected by Zirkzee operating in his position because he's picking up the ball where Bruno normally operates. If you look at the game, Bruno is mostly on the left or the right. Aminor says, vote for Alisson, the best influencer and United view, and Minna as well. And Crash says, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. It's Owen's birthday. Sing for him, you peasants. Happy birthday, Owen. Don't mind the other panelists. Owen, do you want us to sing for you?
Right. Yeah. I started with the Spanish one as well.
Yeah.
Owen Style of Ice says, happy birthday, my beautiful boy.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, the style advisor there. Remy says, flexing KG, FIFA career.
That guy is on Talk Sport, Sky, DR. That guy
this guy is on flipping boxing, flipping filthy fellas, best of enemies, this fucking Death in Paradise, fucking yeah. So,
man, I ain't even landing auditions, man. I need to step it up. I probably need to go back to school and brush up on my skills.
Yeah, man, sharpen up, man.
Yeah,
Sharpen up. Man. Basilo says, is it the same Bruno we complained about being subbed off against Brighton? And Knowledge says, Flex, I get it, but golden boots and striker awards is not carrying a club. Those are individual trophies. I care about the club, not the individual player. I hear that.
When he said it, he did say what Spurs, when he did say the Bruno and he tried to compare it to he said Kane and Bruno. And I was like, you do realize Kane did play for Spurs and then Bruno plays for Man United and he did help us win things. We went on a barren run. We went on a run of how many years? Was it 5, 6 before Ten Hag? How long was it before a trophy?
5 years.
5 years. And I know they're not good enough trophies. I'm not saying these are acceptable trophies or I'm happy with this or Man United are meant to win the major honors. Europa was like, it's cool, but it's not what we're looking for. Man United is about Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues, but we have to be realistic of where we actually are. And guess what? The best trophies we can win right now is the Europa, is the FA Cup. And as the team progresses, the aim should as well. So next season, we should be talking about we're in the Champions League now. Let's see how far we can go in this competition. And I don't know how long you're expecting to challenge for the league, but I would like to be involved in the next 2 years. Is that crazy to say?
No, if we make the right choices, and some people will argue about what those choices need to be. We've seen what one of them choices should be already. Then it will get into the manager. Then it will get into players like Rashford. Then, a lot will need to change. But if you make the right choices and get the right synergy, why can't we challenge within 2 years? We think it's impossible because of how shit we've been, but it can change really quickly with the right ingredients. But like I said, the arguments start with what's the right ingredients to bake this cake, because a lot of people say we're miles off having them. Some people say just need a few sprinkles here. We're not that far off. But obviously, when you look at us and where we are in the league and how we play, we're miles off winning the league right now. We can't even think about it right now. But within 2 years, nothing is impossible. Aminor says, can we set up a KG Rants boxing match at Wembley? Talk to Turkey Al Sheikh about all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Come on, man.
Oh yeah. And English Talent FC says, where did Fatty Rooney carry United after 2013? That is all of the super chats in. Before we move it on, K Flow, another super chat just came in. Says, I'm just here to plug the reckless and chaotic channel, one and only KG the comedian, where man them call from toilets and shout. Whoa.
They do.
Whoa,
They do.
what?
They do. They do.
They just
You man are missing out.
Someone called him from a shower. I'm not even joking.
I was like, wait, you in the shower, brother?
Yeah.
But why would you do that?
Who jumps in a StreamYard whilst they're in the shower?
Someone called when their missus was just about to give birth and that. He had the gown on and everything. He's like,
no,
labor, bro. I said, bro, get off this stream right now and go and support your missus, bro. They're reckless. What can I say? It's my crew. I'm gonna stick beside him.
Yeah. Well, usually your community is sort of like a depiction of you, reflection of you. It's what you've built. Itapan says, Bruno showed up in all finals he's played for us. You can't argue against that. Not his fault. David De Gea can't save a penalty. He'd have been 3 for 3. And also, where's Adam's spirit of Sancho today? Adam couldn't be with us today. He was busy tonight. So yeah, he sends his regards. It's probably a good thing Adam weren't here, mate, because boy.
I know we got some like not negatives, but it'll be good to get into like how the team played and what you lot are seeing and stuff. And that's
the bit the positives. That's the bit we want to talk about. Yeah,
are we starting to see progression in terms of style of play? Saeed, Owen, Alice, are we starting to see something in terms of how we're moving now?
Yeah, definitely, just not consistently. I think that's the way I describe it. First half versus Crystal Palace, fantastic. Joshua Zirkzee comes off, it's like last season again. I thought the City Community Shield game, I think for the most part, was a decent performance. Fulham game was a decent performance. First half versus Brighton, probably didn't deserve to be 1-0 down. Second half weren't great. Liverpool was atrocious. Southampton, first 30 minutes was crap, but then we had 60 minutes of good football. We're seeing it. We just need to see it consistently. We are, I think, first for big chances missed, 17 already this season, which suggests that we are underperforming, and hopefully that will just balance out as the season comes on and the goals will come. I think we're ranked 3rd in the league for XG. Obviously, Arsenal have had 2 games with 10 men, but our underlying numbers are so much better than Arsenal's this season, but it's such a small sample size. They've had 10 men. I do think we're getting better, but it's not like it's good. The way I describe United is last season we were atrocious. This season we're not bad. We want to become good. That's what we want to do. We're seeing good moments. And I think, we're creating more chances. Zirkzee's doing well. I've been really impressed with Mazraoui. I think he's fantastic. I think you can see the impact of the new signings. And I think we've got a good team. So we have to be playing good. There's no excuses for Ten Hag when you've got Mazraoui, when you've got De Ligt, when you've got Martinez, when you've got Maino, when you've got Zirkzee, when you've got Amad Diallo, when you've got, these good players, Bruno Fernandes as well. There's no excuses for Ten Hag. So we should be playing better. We should be looking good. It's just that, we were really good in the first half versus Palace. And I think, because of our underlying numbers being so good and the chances we're missing, I do think we should have a good season. I think this season we've got to finish decent in the league. But if someone said you finish 3rd, but you kind of play that crap football, that sort of where you're winning games in moments, or you finish 5th, but it's really good football, a little bit like Arsenal did in that season, Arteta finished 5th, I'd probably take fifth in good football because I think fifth can get in the Champions League next season because I want to see that progress. I think that is the results need to come with Man United. Like we need to be finishing the top 3 every season. But again, it's better, but it's not good enough yet. It's inconsistent, and we've gone from awful to not bad to having some really good spells. But then some of Ten Hag's substitutions are ruining games, and we just need to see that progress as the season comes on. But I do think we are better than our points tally show, and because of that, like Newcastle are, I think, 5th, but they haven't been good at all. Whereas we've been better than them. So I'm hoping it balances it out, but it is such a small sample size. But I think a lot of positives, especially as well with shots conceded. Our shots conceded a game has gone down massively. 3 clean sheets in a row. So I think positives, and we've definitely got better players. So I think we will improve.
Sai, what are you saying? You seeing improvements?
I think to be honest with you, I think the defense is probably my kind of biggest thing. Take out the Liverpool game. I think for me, I'm confident about the defense. I'm just worried about the attack. But I do believe what Alice is saying is right, man. The bar is low, man. I think what we're seeing now is because we were so bad last season, I think everyone's just getting excited by simple things of keeping the ball. That should be the norm, especially for a team like Man United, especially for a Ten Hag who was actually quite known for that in Ajax, to keep the ball possession-based. You know, so I do believe the bar is low. But then again, you've got to say Man United at the minute, you know, we're not where we were meant to be. And ultimately, you know, the football is only... Like when I look at Eriksen, I think for me, he's been a big plus in the last couple of games. I think we've kept the ball better with him. I think Mainu, Crystal Palace game, I thought was probably his best performance for me in a United shirt this season. Mazraoui, people are not talking about the impact of Mazraoui, man. He's been
really
absolutely good. Outstanding. I mean, 15 million has been crazy.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I think that's been De Ligt's experience has been top quality. But like I said to you, I think for me, we are 11th. I know it's still early. 5 goals. It's not great. I worry about the goal scorers of the team, who's getting the goals. I look at Ten Hag and I'm like, you know, when you look at the 3 years he's been here, never been a goal scoring team. You know, look at his first season, not many goals. Second season, not many goals. This season here, I don't know if we're a goal scoring team, and that's why, you know, yesterday we're so frustrated, or Saturday we're so frustrated because, bro, we should have been 2-3-0 up the first half. Garnacho should score. I don't know about you guys, but the second one, he's got to bend it nicely. I think he hits it too clean. Sometimes he can, you know, he's trying to take his time and he's trying to bend it through. BRUNO FERNANDES should score. You know, De Ligt, I think that one there, Henderson didn't really know where he was.
He got lucky. He got lucky,
you know, he got very lucky. I think it was a clean hit. So it's one of them, like I feel like the foundations of keeping clean sheets and almost like, you know, defensively is there, but the attacking wise, I don't think yes, Crystal Palace, they gave us a lot of attacking rhythm, but when we look at a team, how we're breaking them down, that's the next phase of Ten Hag. He's got to be able to create patterns where it's just consistent. So next game when we're going to Tottenham, we're still creating them attacking patterns. I want to see that against Tottenham. Then Villa, you've got to create them attacking patterns. Was it a one-off against Crystal Palace? We'll find out. But if we can keep creating them attacking moments, the goals will eventually come. We're not going to be, you know what I mean? Like, these players are going to end up scoring goals. But I'm enjoying Zirkzee's role. I think Zirkzee has been excellent for Man United. Like, I genuinely, there's a lot of people hating on him and like, you know what, he's not this. I genuinely believe if he's the glue right now. He's the glue to this Man United team. If he plays well, Man United will play well. Like, genuinely scary how bad United were when he came off, you know. It's scary, honestly, because all the attacking lanes, I don't know if you've seen the graph, but everything was going through Zirkzee, and I was like, yo, we've actually got a guy that can give and go. And listen, no respect to Højlund, but I think he lost the ball 5 times in like a good, I think it was a sequence of play where the touch was awful. And that's what Højlund's got to work on, his hold-up play. But
I feel like that was because he's been out for so long. You kind of go, all right, let's see.
I'll give you
but he's not going to hold up the ball like Zirkzee, though. He won't.
100%. But I just believe for me, Zirkzee, the goals will come with Zirkzee. But for me, you know, you can talk about goals, but when you got a guy that will benefit others, he's benefiting Ahmad, he's benefiting Rashford. He's actually got a little bit of a communication with Rashford now, and he's actually benefiting Eriksen and whatnot. You know, I value that more sometimes than the goals, because for me, the goals will come. It's about playing well first. I want my players playing well first. The goals will come. Just play well first, and then we can start working on the finer details. Zirkzee for me is given up, and like I said, it's just unfortunate we didn't get the goal. But that's what I'm saying. Tottenham, we have to make it right. We have to beat Tottenham. So yeah, I think there's positives, but obviously, you know, the bar is low. It's got to be, you know what I mean? We're looking at things that we should be doing in season 1. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's
Josh,
not happening in season 3.
Josh is in the chat. He's saying this, but the sample size is too small. He's had 1.5 good games. So he's basically implying that we need to slow down.
I don't know, man.
With the sample size of what Zirkzee's done, well, not all the time.
No, but obviously, Maguire. We've had a good striker. We look at, like, you know, the strikers we've had in the past, like.
Well,
look at the face.
Look at the faces.
Yeah.
Gone.
I'm
back now.
There you go. You're back now.
People can talk about Martial and say it was a flop, this, that, the other, but I just like players that have just natural football ability, man. Like, if you got natural football ability, let the rest come, man. Just be patient. The goals.
Yeah, but the rest does have to come, because Martial is a good example of that. Like, yeah, great football ability, but he didn't fulfill his potential, and in the end, it was a load of trash. Like, we have to just be honest. Like, we have to call that as it is. Like,
Martial,
yeah,
Martial goals.
Yes, he did. He's a good. That's what I'm saying. In his prime, in his pomp, like, his ability was there, but then he didn't fulfill it for various reasons. Whether it's
he didn't complete a game for 3 seasons.
Going up, didn't complete a game. The injuries, like
seasons.
You know what I mean? Martial but then in like 1920 or around COVID times, he was cooking. You know what I mean? In 15-16, he was cooking. There's
when Martial played well, though, Man United played well. Remember
what did he lead us to, though, Said? What did he lead us to?
I'm just saying, when Martial played well, United played well.
Where did he lead us to?
What did he lead us to, though?
There you go.
Yeah. Which is our point, though. No one's led us nowhere because we've been.
That's what I'm saying.
Alex.
Exactly.
Yeah. which you are saying nobody has led us anywhere.
Nobody has.
My thing, like in terms of the positive things, what we're seeing, I think it's too early to say like we're good now. Like we're a good team. That's too early. Like we still don't know. We're not scoring goals as we should. It's a positive. We've only got like to compare to last year though. That's why it feels like we're doing better than what we are. So we're saying well, we're not facing 17 shots anymore. That's a positive. But we are having more possession now. That's a positive. We're not losing all the games. We're not winning as much as we need to right now. First 5 games, I get that. But it's not like last year we went Palace got licked 4-0. This year's 0-0. It's like small wins, isn't it? It's small wins. We're building up better from the back. But like I do get what you're saying, Said, and a few other people. Like the bar is low because of where we're coming from. So we shouldn't really confuse like real progression. But we should also like look at some of the things that we can see happening that look all right. I do. That technical level has gone up. I say it on the morning show. Like you said, when you look at Mazraoui, comfortable on the ball. De Ligt, comfortable on the ball. Martinez, Dalot, comfortable on the ball. Dalot going into midfield. Solid, lovely, great on the ball. Some nice passes. Then you go further up the pitch. Kobe Mainoo's in there now more consistently. Comfortable on the ball. Ericsson, comfortable on the ball. Zirkzee, comfortable on the ball. Ahmad, comfortable on the ball. There's only really a couple. Onana's even comfortable on the ball. There's only really now a couple when you get to sort of maybe the Rashford and the Bruno, which is why obviously we need to sell them. All of that. Yeah. But like
the 2 outsiders, man. That's the man.
So now they're becoming the 2 outsiders. But then what we also need to be careful that we don't do is sort of say we don't need people that are direct. We don't need people that take risks, because I guarantee you, if we keep not scoring, but our possession is high, the narrative will soon change to we need some killers. We need some people who are going to take shots. All of this pass, back, cutting it back. No one's pulling the trigger. No one's doing this. It has to be a balance.
But that's why I believe. But Flex. That's why I believe Ten Hag's wasted a lot of money though, because this window should have been our first window. I think it's probably the best window we've had. Like this should have been our first window, and that's why I believe he's wasted a lot of money on Anthony, Mason Mount, all these players that we didn't really need. And it's like they're just, are they going to make an impact? Are they going to do anything? Like that's what I'm saying. Like we wasted a lot of money on just nothing. This summer, I felt like for me is the summer we put in pro players.
This is the first one where you look at the team and then go, it's better. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, look, when we brought in Martinez, that was obviously a good buy. Onana, a lot of people are still behind him. I still got big reservations. I don't think he's good enough. I feel like
safe though. Good, real
oh,
good.
amazing. Couldn't believe it. Well, that was like David Raya-esque. Like that, you know what I mean? That was like proper.
I wish he
fair
was
play.
a player instead of David Raya, but I hear why you did it. He's done that a few
Yeah,
times.
because like recently he's done I have to. There you go. I know you hate Arsenal, but
you did it though, but it's cool. I hear.
All right, he's very Neuer-esque. He's like Neuer. He was like Manuel Neuer. That's who he was like.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Is that cool? Yeah. All right, cool. But yeah, I feel the team is going in a better direction, and it looks like we're willing to play this way. But the sample size is still too small to see if we do this week in, week out. But I'm happy. I do want us to keep playing like this, because creating all these chances and having high XG. I'm not even an XG man. I usually don't like that stuff. But my eye test even tells me I could just see with my eyes we're creating more. So by like you say, Said, I agree. If we keep playing like this, we're going to start scoring goals. Like the Garnacho one, you know, you said he should score. I think he's just unlucky. Like the left foot one, it goes across goal. That's all you can do is shoot across goal with your left foot from that angle. The right foot one, you get your foot around it, you wrap it. It's inches from like stanchioning in. Like it's hard to say, bro, you should have scored that one. That's a harsh one for me. Which was actually what was quite weird about all of our chances against Palace. They were clear cut, but like apart from maybe even the Bruno outside the boot one when I watched it back, we saying he should have done better because we know he's capable of doing that. It's still a difficult chance outside the boot from there. But that's probably the only one where I look
outside
at
the boot. That was the problem with the Bruno one, wasn't it? He didn't need to do that.
So that's really the only one where I'm like, had to score. Like the Delit one was lucky.
And Henderson was on fire, man.
I was talking about you. I was like, KG would have been pissed at this. Look at this.
Henderson was on fire. Watching that.
Yeah, but there were saves he should have made, though.
No, but still, we have to say he played good, man. I was looking at the chances because I was like, I wonder what, because it felt like there was a meltdown from like what happened. And
I feel like they had the better chances, you know.
They did.
There was one of them. Was it the Eze one where I thought it had gone in? Like literally, you went, it's gone in.
I thought like we had some really. I thought like even that Garnacho one and the ball was open as well. The Garnacho one and then Bruno gets it and then he hits over the bar and stuff.
But I think he should save that though.
I wouldn't say any of the Henderson saves were like,
they weren't big saves. They were like
world class.
There were more saves where if they went in, you'd look at him and go, "How's that gone in?"
I thought Henderson.
I think some of them, like you said, should do better. The Garnacho first one, it's a one-on-one. He could probably get that more in the corner, beat the goalkeeper, do something a bit different. I think, like I said, the Delit one, he does get a bit lucky, but also I think if you asked Delit, he'd be like, I should score. It's a free header. Was it free header like 6 yards out? You considering he just scored like a week before a header.
But he's headed it down where you're meant to, but it just happened.
He'll want that. Again, for me also as well, the Bruno one, maybe it's just because it comes at him so quickly, decides to try and hit on the volley, hit the bar. He doesn't need to do it again. Doesn't need to. He could have taken a touch with that one. To be honest, the most egregious one I do think actually in the second half is the Bruno outside the foot, because he just didn't need to. He could have taken a touch, could have done it with his left foot or whatever. And it was such a well rolled off ball from Zirkzee. So no, I'm with you. I think defensively we look a lot better. That back four looks much more settled. The centre back pairing looks much more secure. It'll be interesting to see what happens once we get more fullbacks back, because Dalot, no, he struggled against Southampton, but him and Mazraoui are way more comfortable inverting into becoming midfielders. They're way more technically proficient, which adds bodies into midfield, which helps people like Kobe and Eriksson not get totally outnumbered. I do worry where the goal is coming from, because if you do look at even the first season with Ten Hag, it was largely spiked with the Rashford goals. And it was like, oh, there's the guy who gets like 20 plus goals. Who else is going to get them? We didn't have a striker that season as well. So you then worry going, oh, where are the goals going to come from? They basically came from nowhere last season. And this season, you're almost looking at all of those forward players going, okay, which player is going to be the player that gets 20 then? Because it's got to be that almost that person. And I don't know what the answer is to that. I agree with you in the sense of, if we're just going to keep creating chances like we are, people are going to score goals. But you do sort of tend to see, don't you, in those teams that do compete at the top, there are those players that are getting like 15, 20. And I look across the front four and I go, well, who's that going to be for us this season? Is it going to be, after last week, you thought, oh, maybe Rashford's going to hit another purple patch. He's scoring goals now. When he came on at the weekend, didn't look like he was too pleased that he wasn't necessarily benched. Couldn't get into the game at all. Højlund.
That was a bad decision to follow with, man. That was a bad decision from Ten Hag.
Rotation.
Yeah, but it's September, and we're rotating already. Like, what are we doing, guys?
But this is what's mad because we'll cuss him
No,
when
it's
he
not mad
doesn't.
though, KG. How's it mad?
Because we cuss him when he doesn't. Like when he keeps these
No,
players.
no. Don't do that because you know what it is, KG? That's the context of when we're playing about 1,000 games here and people are tired. We're talking about September. We're talking about a guy that Rashford needs confidence.
No, but I'm saying we've had these moments.
He's a confidence player.
Yeah, but we say how long? I've heard the argument of how long we're gonna give Rashford. We've given him 7 years. We've given him this many years.
No. He's here now. He's here now.
Am I making it up or am I getting crazy today?
No,
am I making it up?
I think you are, man. I'll be honest with you, man. For me, it's the worst game for me to rotate because at the end of the day, yeah, everyone can agree now on here that Garnacho, where's his best kind of, in terms of what his best is impact, right? It comes off impacts. I don't think Rashford, like, when I look at Rashford now, yeah, I'm looking at games where he's come off the bench and impacted a game. I'm looking at Wolves away a couple of years ago. I don't really see many games where I'm like, he's impacted games. But I can tell you a lot of games that Garnacho's impacted games. And I'm just like...
Because Rashford's never on the bench, though. We don't have a sample size.
No, 100%. I get that. But then I'm like, Rashford's just come off Barnsley. He's a confidence player. Keep the momentum. You know I don't rate Rashford. But I'm just like, don't like just momentum, bro. Like we need attackers to fire. We're lacking goals. Let's play Rashford. You know what I mean? Because it's like... I just believe for me that would have been a sensible option, especially rotate. Because he said we need rotation. I'm like, it's September, mate. Relax. You don't need to rotate September. Keep it going. Keep the flow going. And Garnacho off the bench would have had definitely a better impact than
I honestly feel like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I feel like we can't win sometimes with this.
That was a no-win situation. I do agree.
I'm just raising the comment here. That's all it is.
No, I'm not.
He would have been criticised regardless.
I'm not even getting at you. I'm saying we literally. This is like a cycle. Like we've said Rashford has been dead for so many years. Go with somebody else.
About that though, I think you're looking too deep into
this has been the conversation. Hear me out. This has been the conversation for a very long time. That Ten Hag loves Rashford. It's his boy and this, that, and the other, and he won't change him. He changes him, takes him off, and again now the conversation is, no, I should have kept him on. So it's hard to who do you actually please with the fan base in terms of, but the only way it works is if it actually works and we get a result in that game. But it's gonna every decision will be criticized because someone else will be able to say, "Oh, well, see,
it will."
Everyone's been criticised regardless. If it was Ahmad, if Ahmad was on the bench like at Liverpool, they went crazy. If it was Garnacho on the bench, it'd be he started really well while he's on the bench. Rashford was on the bench, it was he started scoring goals while he's on the bench. You can't. In fairness, I think every decision, had we not won at the weekend, would have been criticised for why was that person on the bench.
The truth of the matter is that, sorry, Alice, I'll come to you straight away. The truth of the matter is that we have been so far gone without actual options and only having to rely on two and say, well, it must be Rashford and Garnacho because Ahmad's not here or injured or whatever, and Anthony's rubbish and Sancho's he was exiled. Yeah. So we've for ages only had Rashford and Garnacho, and we said, Garnacho's had to play fucking 33, 34, 5, 6 games in a row. Hey, listen, I know you got to get to Monday Night Smoke. Listen, let me tell you now. You, AJ Simple, listen, no. Can I just say one thing before you leave, yeah? I thought, let me go see like you lot's reaction to this on the Pain game, yeah? I thought, let me go and see. Now, I get boxing is an individual sport, so that's where you do like Fighter FC. But you and Travis's behavior was disgraceful. Travis said, get off me. He said, don't touch me. You threw your jacket. Bro, just big up Dubois. Like, so it's all right.
Listen, we didn't even, brother. That one there.
I had no idea it was coming.
KG did the pep in the dugout. He kicked the chair. It was like that.
Bro, sometimes you have to understand, it's like seeing your boy with boxing. It's watching your boy get banged up, bro. Yeah, brother. That's why you don't want to be connected to these fights. But anyway, I gotta go. Listen, big up everyone.
Yeah, cool.
Pull up after. Long
day. Go check out Monday Night Smoke if you're into your boxing. The AJ thing, honestly, him and Travis were they're such AJ, and I'm a big AJ fan. But like, you just got to give props to the guy. You got to give props to Dubois. But they were just like, it was unbelievable. But anyway, back to what we were talking about before we wrap up.
You lot weren't short that Rashford was starting. You lot weren't shocked.
I was surprised. I was shocked. I was shocked.
I just started him. I
just started him, Alice. Yeah,
came off at Barnsley with 60 minutes. So I was like, oh, he's come off, so he's fresh for the next game. So like, I agree that it's not that deep that Rashford has dropped, and I think whatever happens, we'll criticise Ten Hag's decision. But I actually get why Saeed was saying you play Rashford constantly when he's crap, and then the one time he's in good form, and like had he played 90 minutes versus Barnsley, fair enough. But he came off with Garnacho got 90 minutes, I think, or like 88 minutes or something. Rashford got 60 minutes. It felt like, okay, Rashford's in form. This is time to play Rashford. But I guess like the positive bit is we're in a position that we can rotate between Rashford, Abad and Garnacho. Say Rashford stays in form and all of that as well. And it's good to be able to rotate and not run players in the ground. And I get that, it's probably time for Garnacho to get a start because he had a good game. But I'd have actually personally started Rashford just because he got 60 minutes. He's in form. This is the time when Rashford's going to get the numbers. And as Saeed said, Garnacho is better off the bench for me.
Yep, simple.
Yeah, and for the first time, do you know what though? It's actually good that we got options. But I do agree though. Rashford is the one I do look at though, and I go, I don't fancy him off the bench. His mentality is
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's all it is.
Rashford's the sort of player, and it is because the sample size is not big, but also just knowing Rashi from how we know him as fans, it feels like because he believes he's the top guy, and he is the top guy, he's the main guy. If he starts being on the bench like consecutively, I don't think Rashford buys into the whole, come on and prove everyone wrong. Like he's a confidence man who just needs the arm around the shoulder to be the main guy. Whereas Garnacho has shown us a sample size of like, I'll come on, I'll show all these man I'm sick. Watch this. Ahmad will come on and play the game in a set. So I was shocked. But at the same time, at least we got options in it.
I thought that's why Rashford played against Barnsley. As soon as the team news came out, because I thought Rashford wasn't going to play. And then when I saw him play, I went, well, he's playing him into form. So, and then when he scored 2 goals, when he scored the goals, I thought, oh, he's definitely going to start at the weekend then. And when it came out, I was like, what? I was waiting for Ten Hag to go, oh, he's ill, or he's got a bit of a knock or something like that. So when he said, oh, he's rotated, I thought, well, okay. It's one of those ones where you go, well, you got to win now, haven't you? Because if you don't,
and then
people are
when
going to criticize it.
That's what happens. MJ to finish off says Saeed wants comfortable ballers, but wanted Aaron Wan-Bissaka over Dallo. Is that true, Saeed?
No. That was just a bit of form at the time. It wasn't long term.
Okay. So let's not act like at one point we were saying like Wan-Bissaka.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Again in the fan base, we were doing that. Like, no, it's right back. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's now, mate. I tell you what, he's playing brilliant. Like, we were there with it. Soup says, we really let ourselves down as a fan base. If Bruno scores that outside the foot shot, nobody is having this debate. Most of us were shook when the Saudi rumors hit. Now we acting like we don't need him. Yeah, but like I said, he didn't score it. And K Flo says, people were cussing the midfield even before a ball was kicked. And I and a few said it was about control. What did we see? Control. Rassi should be able to impact from the bench. Don't care who starts. Do your job. 100% agree. And we said the same against Southampton when Eriksen started. We were like, oh, and I said, well, actually, as long as this isn't transitional, we'll have possession. It should be about control. Yeah. And it was. It's the same against them. So Ten Hag is basically saying when the team's set up right and people aren't exposed and he's got the right characters in there, i.e. a settled back four, he is showing he's not afraid to use people like Eriksen, who we think surplus. He still thinks Eriksen's a really good footballer. And he is a really good footballer.
He is,
yeah, it just shows you that he does want his more technical players out there. You got to manage his minutes. Guys, big show. Big show. Where did we get to? We got to, hold on, 708 likes. Is that? I got on my screen there, Owen. Is that
708?
Yeah. We should have probably pushed for more actually throughout the show, guys. We should have got to 1K. But listen, it's all good. It's all love. Check out everybody's channels. Make sure you subscribe to their channels. Alice Talks Football, Sai TV, Forever Red. And make sure you check out KG's channel as well, Owen's channel, Mina's channel, etc. Everyone go show some love. And one more time, big up Owen on his birthday. Happy birthday, Owen. Hope you
Owen, man.
Maybe go and get a glass of wine after this. Put your feet up, relax.
Yeah.
Maybe a shandy. Yeah.
A shandy,
Guinness, Bucks Fizz. I don't know. Whatever you like. Maybe. Might be Ciroc, might be Hennessy, might be Remy. I don't know. I don't know what you're on.
Maybe.
But yeah, big up, man. All right, guys, we are out of here. Take care. We'll see you on the red carpet again next week. Hopefully, with 3 points in the bag.
Now we're beating Tottenham. Don't worry, man. We're beating Tottenham.
We better, man. We better. Saeed, I see you there. All right, take care. We're out of here.